Alright, here I am working on an 06 CRV. I'm going to replace the alternator because I had a battery light blinking. It just kind of came in and out. It wasn't permanent. It would just kind of turn on for a little bit and then turn back off. So I figured it's a sign of a failing alternator, or the battery was replaced about a year ago. That's not the problem. The other culprit could be the ELD, the electronic load distributor, or whatever that is. I have that part as well, but this is a high mileage car. It's got about 210,000 miles. Just kind of slowly replacing parts that I figured, you know, it's an old car. Might as well just get it taken care of instead of leaving these stranded. So I got a Denso remanufactured alternator. The one in here may or may not be good, but I figured I'll just replace it so I'll have peace of mind. And because I'm doing it myself, it's fairly cheap. So let's get into it. Okay, first thing I'll do is remove this. And thanks to a mechanic that I took this to for AC replacement, they decided to cut this in half. Thank you for that. Next, I'll just unhook this power steering pump, take off the belt tensioner. It's a 14 mil and a pipe to help get some leverage. Okay, now we have more access to the alternator down there. Here's the tensioner. However, the 2 bolts are underneath on the underside, and also the plastic clip is under there. So I think I might have to remove this or remove this. But the trick to getting a little bit more space is you don't have to remove this whole T-bar. I see some people remove the whole T-bar, but what you can do is just simply undo this bolt, undo that one. But all you do is you just muscle your way, lift it. You can move it off this little railing here and move it off track, and it'll give you a little bit more space. I think I'll just leave the fan in place, and I might end up removing the intake manifold. Okay, so I'm gonna remove the intake manifold, so I gotta get kind of all this stuff out of the way, and first I'll just disconnect the battery. Next, next we're gonna move this elbow. Throttle body is 4 12 mil bolts. That's 4 12 mils. This throttle body. You don't have to take out the bottom one, which I think is a coolant line. You don't have to take that out. I'm just trying to get this out of the way. And then also let's take this out. 3 10 mils. Let's get that out of the way. And then for the intake, there's a clip right there. That clip right there. I think the IMRC or whatever. This one right here. You can unlink the hose in the middle, and one of these hoses might have to get disconnected. Okay, this is the key to getting some space. That's it. Okay, so throttle body, I disconnected it from the intake manifold and I just kind of tucked it out of the way, disconnected it so I can shimmy this over. Basically it came out and shifted there, and now we have all the space to the alternator right here, and the connector as well as the connector underneath as well as the electrical line. And also all I did was disconnect these points right here, and I just pulled the bar over. I didn't even touch the center bolt of this T-bar, and I didn't even touch that side. So this gives you enough space to move the intake manifold, and the fan's still in there. So just realize there's this little bracket here that holds onto this wire. There's a little bolt that's supposed to connect to the alternator right there, but that's missing. It's just been hanging loose. So I guess it'll be fine. Out of the way. Just want to be careful of that AC line right there. I think I have to go underneath. I can feel the bolt from underneath. Just got to be careful not to hit that. Okay, so I need a little more space, and I might have to remove this little coolant tank. I wish this fan was out of here. Okay, top one, 12 mil. There's three that hold on to this alternator, other than the electrical one down there. I think I'm gonna remove this one first. Little 10 mil. That's the long one. There's that connector. There it is. It's a piece of crap CarQuest. Actually, I don't know if it's a piece of crap, but it's making a little squeaky noise. No real play in the pulley itself. Just hearing some squeak. No idea how old this is, but just nice having peace of mind when you have a used car for the critical parts. Okay, just want to make sure the bolts are all the same. The connector points are all the same. Okay, let's get this back in. Okay, so the connector is in. Just put that in. There's a little bit of a difference between this one and the older one. This one actually has this plastic guard so that this rubber cover can go over. Originally the cable came straight up from the bottom, but now I had to kind of pull it up and kink it in so it can go in from the side because of the two grooves. It's kind of like a castle nut with two grooves on each side. so I had to just kind of pull this cable up. But it's on there. Just do it finger tight, not too tight, or you might damage the actual bolt that's coming out of the alternator. Getting these two bolts on the bottom. That one's easier. Much easier without the glove. Okay, so alternator's in. There's that bracket that's supposed to bolt into here, but that was not connected on the older one, so it should be okay. Now that the alternator's in, you're going to want to route that belt under the alternator. Definitely want to make sure your belts are routed. I just noticed mine it fell off. This can go back in. Okay, this tank has a little flat piece like this at the bottom, and there's a groove, and it just kind of sits in there, and then at the top there's this 10 mil. Okay, time for the intake to go back in. Just want to make sure you don't miss any hoses or clips. Remember, this little one goes right there. Before I do that, can't forget to put this one back in. This goes to the alternator and to the intake. Don't forget this little hose that goes underneath here. Or else you get a code, I think it was 661 maybe. Don't forget this little gray clip. This little clip right there. So there's the two clips, the two little hoses. And this long hose, sirens all day. Get the 5 12 mils, 3 bolts, 2 nuts. Slide the throttle body back on. 2 nuts, 2 bolts. Don't know the exact torque specs, but tight enough. Seems to be good on this one. Before I finish that, let's go back over here. Again, make sure the belts are all lined up on the right pulleys down below. Power steering is simple enough, just 2 bolts. You're going to need some kind of offset, really helps, and some kind of pipe, get some more leverage. There's this bundle of wires, clip it back in. All you do is lift it back over. So there's a lot of play. It's for aligning to the hood. I'll have to fine tune that once I get it all buttoned up. This wide clip to the throttle body. Blue one into the throttle body. This orange one. This might be easier if I did it this way. Let's try a little bit of nose grease. Battery back on. Don't forget to align. Make sure that's aligned. That's all done. It's wrapped up. It's always the best feeling when you put it back together and it all runs. So hopefully that will take care of the issue. I will have that ELD on standby, but I didn't install it yet. But we'll see how it runs. See if that battery indicator light comes back. But otherwise, we're good to go. Oh, just forgot power steering reservoir back in, and also gotta tighten down these Phillips screws. That's it. Till next time. See ya.